because Venus is actually your self-esteem, value, worth, relationship, desires. Before I even get started, comment below what your Venus sign is now. Welcome back to my YouTube. It's your girl Honey. Welcome back. So those of you who don't know, my name is Honey and I'm a Western based astrologer based in the UK, and I study psychology and counseling. I conduct astrology readings for my clients. I have a astrology podcast on my website, which is honeysastro.com. You guys are free to check that out below here. Anyway, you guys are here because the title of the video is Venus in Pisces. I'm an Aries sun, Venus in Pisces, and I'm also a 12th house person as well. So my planets sit in my 12th house, so I've got Neptune on my moon, so I'm very Neptunian, but I absolutely love my Venus in Pisces. I never used to like it, and I didn't like it because I felt like it made me extremely deluded. At times I didn't quite know how to curb it. But I'm a Capricorn moon, so it's like I've had to learn to balance between being a mean old bitch and being a nice bitch, you know, so it just kind of changes over time as you learn about the energies. Those of you who don't know much about Venus and Pisces, please check out my Venus and Pisces very descriptive video. I will link that above here. But quickly just kind of recap on what the Venus in Pisces is. So Venus is exalted in Pisces, and it's exalted here because Pisces gives chances. Pisces is all about the fantasy, the romance, and being deluded and not seeing the ugly in people, right? That's what Pisces is. It does not want to see the ugly in anything, so it gives people chances. But there are pros and cons to having your planet exalted in any planet, any sign, right? There's pros and cons to it all. But the funny thing about having Venus in Pisces is that we become very selfless lovers, and when it comes to dating us, we can be deluded in two different ways. So you can think people who are just friendly with you just like you because you're so deluded, right, with your imagery, your beauty, your likability. And it can also go the other way. You may have self-esteem issues where you're not completely, because Venus is actually your self-esteem, value, worth, relationship, desires. You may not be completely consciously aware of how low your self-esteem might actually be, and you may not feel like you are so deserving of having or being treated a particular way. So it goes all different kinds of ways. And I want to also mention, please bear in mind that aspects and house placements also play a massive part in this. The ideal date for a Venus in Pisces is something extremely romantic. It doesn't expect you to spend so much money. Like, we don't care if you spend money, that's great, you know, good for you, thank you, but you know, I could have had a really good date in the park. But Venus in Pisces is all about the experience, honey. All about the experience. So I wouldn't even mind if a guy took me, and by the way, I'm pretty much married right now, pretty much, right? But I wouldn't mind if a guy took me to a park, but he made it he got a nice picnic basket, you know, he made his own sandwiches, you know, he made homemade juice and smoothies, and the conversation was just great. Now, as a Venus in Pisces, we are all about escaping. So there has to be some wine, some brandy, maybe even a bit of weed. Okay, and not everyone that has a Venus in Pisces may indulge in things like that, and I understand. It could also be engaging in very good or deep conversation. Everyone's very different, but Pisces is about escaping. So we want to feel like we are in a completely different realm as to what we're involved, what we're in right now. So the person dating us has to really use their imagination to take us somewhere that's going to stimulate our unconsciousness, our senses, our body, our feel, everything. Like today, I'm going to be so impressed if you took me somewhere that I wasn't, that's not even all that great. Not really, you know, but you make it great because you bought the experience. You bought the experience. Now, you have to make it very romantic. So you have to make it as though a lot of thought has gone into this whole experience. Because at the end of the day, a date is about, you know, getting to know someone, but also impressing them with your amazing ideas. And I'm like, oh wow, like you brought me to this wonderful park with these amazing high trees, and there's a river nearby. Oh my God, don't even get me started on like a river. I fucking love water. I love water. I don't like being in it, right? But I love like the sound of like rain, or the sound of like the river going by. Like, oh my God, I love that. You know, even taking us on like a little escape somewhere, going to a little escape, a little cabin, you know, where there's like fire burning. Like romance is what's going to win that Venus in Pisces over, honey. That is it. Let me think about Aries. Venus in Aries is Venus is debilitated in Aries. When you think about it, Venus is a feminine planet, and it's all about receiving the energy. Okay, it's about receiving energy. So when you have a Venus in Aries, Aries is a masculine sign. Aries is ruled by Mars. So what happens is Aries becomes extremely masculine. What you'll find is someone who has their Venus in Aries, they may move very quickly, because at the end of the day, they're about energy. Like Aries rules Mars, right? And Mars is about the energy. It's about motivation, drive, your temper, your reactions, response. It's to date a Venus in Aries, they're gonna want to do something that's very physical, like physical touching. And when a Venus in Aries likes someone, they're mean to you. So they'll say, oh my God, that your head is too big. Your head is too big, okay? Them boobs are way too big to fit into that. Like they'll always have something to say. And you're thinking, oh, she's picking on me, or he's picking on me, but that's because he likes you, honey. Venus in Aries needs to be doing something that relates to competing, right? Because it's about the whole, you know, winning side to things. So maybe even going to like archery, you know, like the arrow thing, a gun range, because Aries likes a gun. Oh my God, don't even ask. But Aries likes to kind of be very physical on their date, but also they need that competition. The best date for a Venus in Aries has to be a theme park. I'm an Aries myself, but I'm not into theme parks because I've got a phobia of people being sick. I've got Pluto in my 6th house of health, so yeah, I just have a phobia of people being sick. Now, theme parks is amazing for a Venus in Aries, because this gets the adrenaline pumping through your body, like that ride, that pump, or like doing like a bungee jump, even anything that's very adventurous and stimulates your body. This is the ideal date, and it shows how wild and adventurous you are, because you're bringing that person along the date with you. You're like, yeah, let's go on this ride. I can do this, I can do that. You can't go on that ride. Oh, you pussy to go into that ride. I'm thinking, oh my God, you know. But this is like Aries needs that adrenaline rush from their partners. Okay, people, Venus and Taurus, this is a good one, right? Now, Venus is very at home in Taurus. When you think about Taurus, it's very sensual, very sexy. You know, it's comfortable being here. Taurus is about stimulating the senses. What you see, what you touch, what you eat, what you smell, and the other sense I can't even think. What you hear, right? It's about stimulating the body. Now, to date a Venus in Taurus, obviously we all know, yes, Taurus people like food. Okay, Taurus people like food, and taking a Taurus somewhere, you need to have your money up. I'll be real with you, have your money up. Because if you took them to like the Shard in London, you took them to Oxo Tower, somewhere which is like a Michelin style food, and it's you got the view. Oh my god, oh my god. So you've got the view of like London, city London, looking around. You've got live music playing already. That's already stimulating your taste, your eyes, like stimulating your ears. And it smells amazing in there. The food is brilliant. Like, a Taurus is going to fall in love with you quick time if you took them somewhere real nice. Now, it's not just, let me just mention, it's not just about the food, right? It's about the experience too. But Taurus needs its securities. It needs to feel like its body is being stimulated here. So let's say, okay, you know, you may not have a lot of money to kind of, you know, make this Taurus feel, you know, special and beautiful, and that's okay. Now, I quite like a massage date, right? I took my boyfriend he's got Venus in Taurus as well, and I took him on a date, and we went to go and get a couples massage. And he was so stressed out that week, and I was like, oh babe, don't worry, I'll look after you, da, da, da. So I took him to go and get a massage, a professional Thai massage, and it was they did our whole bodies. Like, it was so good, oh my god. But yeah, Taurus really appreciate things that's like touching or very sensual things happening to their body. So if you're going to take them out, make sure you're thinking about something that's worthwhile. I even got a cooking lesson. Now, my boyfriend loves to cook, and I definitely would love to. I think one of the dates I will take him on eventually will be like a Thai class, a cooking class. He's not into Thai food that much, but he will. I know him, and he will be into it. But going to like a cooking class, learning how to cook, even like your own cooking class kind of date, think very creative. Could also be like maybe clay making or something romantic, and you know, like you guys can like make the clay together, stimulate each other, you know, like something romantic, then just get a bite to eat after. But Taurus need that stimulation, okay, that physical, sexy, right? Venus in Gemini, these are my people. So Venus in Gemini is a really interesting Venus to have, because this is the air Venus, right? And air Venus, I know online, get the most amount of hate, and people hate them so much because it's about a mental connection. And that's what people don't understand, is that your Venus is your relationship desires. So your desire is to be mentally connected with someone. The date of Venus in Gemini, the ideal date is, what's that shit called? Panic room. Oh my god. My boyfriend's been begging me to go, and I'm like, I don't want to go to the fucking panic room. I hate panic. I hate it, right? But he's a nice son. And you know, he likes like things that are mentally challenging. But taking a Gemini to a panic room, and you've got to really use your logic and your brain to get out of it, is really stimulating for these people. Oh my god, they just need to just constantly use their mind for things. And also, like, I know this might sound a bit cliche, but going to the library, I say library because there are hundreds and thousands of books. But let's say you are a Sagittarius, right? Typical. Let's say you are a Sagittarius and you decide, you're like, okay, I know so much about astrology. Meet me at the library at 5 and I'll make it worth your while. I'll show you what I know. Gemini is like curious. It's like, oh my God, you've got so much to teach me. I'm so curious to know more. I'll come, yeah. That's Gemini. And they'll go to the library and you'll have Sag talking about, well, this is what I found with this. This is my philosophy on that. You know, I learned this like 5 years ago, and I'm this and I'm that. And Venus and Gemini is like, oh my God, like he knows so much. Oh my God, like this is amazing. Like I love learning. Like a Venus in Gemini needs to be with someone who is constantly teaching them things. Like you can't take Venus and Gemini on a date and there's no communication. It's like going to the cinema and you can't talk. There's no communication whatsoever. Do not do this. Oh my God, like Venus and Gemini, you can do like go-karting, And also because Venus in Gemini is very busy energy, it's like you can't just be doing one thing for the whole time being with them. Like on a date, you've got to be very active and busy, you know, and out there doing different things to keep them stimulated, because they will get very easily bored. And this is what a lot of people online have a problem with, is that Gemini is mercurial energy, so they need this mental stimulation. But people who aren't mentally stimulated date these people and expect them to be faithful, or expect them to be only interested in them, but they get bored. So they need someone who is always learning and teaching them things, and available to talk, people, to talk. All right, this is important because Venus in Gemini really values communication. And if you're someone who chooses to go aloof for a couple of days, you know, not answer phone calls or texts, they'll just move on, because again, it's about the stimulation. Let's look at Cancer, Venus in Cancer. This is a really beautiful Venus to have, and this is a very sentimental Venus. Sentimental things for a Cancer goes a long fucking way. Long way. Might be a little bit far-fetched, but I'll just kind of put it out there to give you an idea of what I mean. Family could be having this big barbecue, this big cookout, and it's a big affair, like a lot of people are there, and you've been seeing or speaking to this Cancer for a while, Venus in Cancer. You might invite them, but invite them as a friend or someone you're getting to know, not as like, oh, this is my potential, my partner. No. This just say, you know, you could introduce them, oh, this is my friend, you know, Roxanne or whatever. She's just here to just meet everyone, blah, blah. A very casual experience. For a Venus in Cancer to meet your family, it's like, oh my God, like he must really like, or she must really see the potential in me. Like, I feel like this is really big of that person to invite me to meet their family. Oh my God, like this is huge. Like, my brother is a Venus in Cancer, right? My boyfriend came to meet my family at my brother's son, my nephew's birthday. And I had been dating my boyfriend for maybe, I think about, God, was it 3 months? But my boyfriend had already met my mum. But my brother will always say to this day, right, I respect your boyfriend because he came to, you know, a family do, and he was really friendly, really likable guy. But I respect him because not a lot of guys would do that. And the Venus in Cancer, they appreciate family. They really value family. And also think about it, this is home cooked food. You know, this is a barbecue, this is cookouts. A Venus in Cancer wants to see how you live. They want to see what your house be looking like, what kind of decor you got going on. They want to just see how you're living. Now, I'm not really a big fan of going to people's houses like very quickly or very soon. If you do send your locations, people, do not go out there and just meet any Tom, Dick and Harry, okay? What I'm saying is, when you are a Venus in Cancer, you're just very curious about how that person lives. Now, a good date would actually be to invite that Venus in Cancer round and cook them a really beautiful home meal. Now also, things that are sentimental. Giving a Venus in Cancer a photo frame of you and them, friends and people who they really care about. So maybe like a double date. Yes, a double date for Venus in Cancer. She might bring, or he might bring their friend or whatever, and you guys go out for a nice meal together. But you guys take like these pictures that are really funny, quirky, funny pictures, because you know what? Oh my God, how can I forget? Oh my God. Venus in Cancer loves to laugh. Oh my God. Comedy show, hello, comedy show. They love laughing. You guys can take like selfies. They like selfies, taking selfies, or just funny pictures. But the next time you see them, you bring them the picture in a frame. Frames, they love pictures. Or you make a collage, title it, oh, first meeting, first day together. They love sentimental things, and this is how you take care of a Venus in Cancer. When it comes to dating a Venus in Leo, Leo is all about the show. It's all about the imagery and what looks good. You got to think, right? What kind of date is a Venus and Leo going to like? What kind of date would make that Venus and Leo go back to their friends and say, oh my God, he took me here, we did this, we did, like, that's what it's about. Dating a Venus in Leo. I think a lot of people like theater. I want to say Leo, one of the best dates for Leo is going to the theater. Leos like money, so spending a good amount of money on some tickets, something that everyone wants to go and see and do. Venus and Leo wants to be that sign to experience it. So going on a date to, well, going to see Tina Turner live in concert. Oh my God. Concerts. This is another thing. Leo is all about the self-expression, the fun. What's really fun? Everyone loves a concert. Everyone loves a festival. And you know, when it comes to like festivals, you got to pick your own cute little outfit to go with, you know, the whole festival theme. Venus and Leos have impeccable dress sense. So they love to section what they're wearing, particular events and stuff, even going to the club. But Venus and Leo has to be someone where they can just dress and look good and also party, have a good time, man. Music's got to be playing, hell yeah. And this is the crazy thing, like when it comes to Venus and Leo, right, they will get dressed in a particular way and they will act as though, oh, well, this isn't about you, I'm dressing for myself. But they want to show you how good they look, okay? And they're doing it, yeah, for them to look good and feel good themselves, but they want you to compliment them. And if you're on a date with them and you can't say nothing nice about them, if you're a Virgo rising, if you've got a 12th house stellium and you can't say nothing nice to a Venus and Leo, they're not going to pay any mind to you. You need to be like, oh, you look beautiful. Oh, I love your hair. Oh, I love the way your jeans fit your body. Like, you need to be very, very flirtatious with these people. So you take them on a date somewhere where they can express themselves. Take them, oh my God. Take them somewhere. They might love Beyonce, they might love Chris Brown or whoever it could be, and you bought tickets to go and see. You bought tickets, you take them there. Okay, so a Venus in Virgo is one of the hardest dates, man. It's one of the hardest dates because Venus is debilitated being in Virgo. It's not very happy being here. And the reason why is because Virgo is dissatisfaction. In whatever house Virgo sits in, it's not happy with the expression of that house. It's not happy with the planet that sits in that house. So we see someone who has some self-esteem issues, okay? We see someone who is very critical in everything. The crazy thing is they are more harder on themselves than they are with anybody else. So what you are getting back from a Venus in Virgo, they are twice as hard on themselves as they are with you. Venus in Virgo will say, yeah, I like something very chill, you know, I haven't got to be too this or too that. But I guarantee they will still complain about it at the end of the day. Virgo relates a lot to being of service, you know, helping people. But I can't lie. Venus in Virgo is also linked towards animals, right? Small animals. Going to a zoo and, you know, you might, or even just an animal petting like environment. If you're going to date these people, you need to be organized. You make sure you turn up on time. Your fingernails are clean. I'm not even joking. Your fingernails are clean. There is no stains on your shirt. No stains, nothing. You are clean. You bring lots of like cleaning wipes with you. You bring the hand gels with you. You bring a bottle of water. You make sure you are so prepared for anything to happen. Maybe even bring a spare shirt, okay? In case you get things spilled, you can change into a new shirt. They think, oh wow, he's so organized. He's prepared for a mess, and I like that. He's so clean, okay? No bad breath. You bring chewing gum. Do you hear me? In fact, don't even chew in front of these people, because they will have an issue with you chewing too loud. Bring mints. Preferably, we don't want to do too much eating on this day in case you spill something, or they have a problem with everything. So a first date would be great if maybe you got a bit messy with them, but you cleaned up and you showed them how clean you are, right? So going to the zoo, and you know, you let them pet the animals, and you know, just like be around creatures and have general conversation about how horrible this elephant sanctuary treats their animals, and how dirty there's crumbs all over the floor, and there's bird doo-doo everywhere. Like having a conversation about how dissatisfied you are with the place, but you still stay there and enjoy yourself, sort of, right? This is kind of how a Venus in Virgo will look at you and think, wow, this is my people. You know, we can write complaints together. We can really like have a lot of fun going to places and critiquing these places. Yeah. Now, I want to also mention like doing something very like active, but together. Going for a run, but like a slow run, or like a walk. There we go. Now, nothing could possibly go wrong if you was to just pick up a Virgo somewhere. You guys go for a drive where there is a view, and you guys have coffees or teas or smoothies, and you guys are just walking through the park or through the area and just witnessing the beauty around you. If a Virgo picks at this, I can't, there's no help, okay? But this is a very simple date. Virgos like simplicity. They like something very not over the top, but they like simplicity, and they would also really appreciate just great conversation. And the crazy thing is, like, Venus in Virgo is also really good at like talking for a very long time and picking at the small little things that you may or may not be saying, right? But it's about being very open. Okay, so let's have a look at Venus in Libra now. Venus is very much at home being in Libra. You know, Venus is ruled by Libra, right? When you think about Venus and Libra person, one of the most ideal dates that come to mind is something beautiful. Everyone likes clothes, everyone likes items. We've got something over here in the UK called Bicester Village. And it's basically just a shopping outlet where things are very affordable. You can get like Armani stuff, like Ralph Lauren stuff, things like that for a fraction of the price. Now, going to places where you can purchase things, and a Venus and Libra likes it when you buy things for them. They like money. And obviously nothing's wrong with money. Like for Venus in Libra, going somewhere like to these old school vintage markets, like Camden Market is one of my favorite markets in London, and they have all these very quirky little stores, and it's like filled with creatives, and Venus and Libra loves creativity, you know. And I remember I went there one time and I bought so much frankincense, like it was just amazing. But for Venus and Libra, going to an old school market, like a vintage market, or like going to like an old school town, visiting their stores, like to a Venus and Libra is amazing. This is an ideal date for them. It has its challenges because you might ask them, well, what's your ideal date? What would you want to do with your partner? Like, what's your ideal date?
Oh, I don't know. What do you want to do?
No, I'm asking you, what do you want to do? You can get that answer because Venus in Libra is about other people. So Venus in Libra gets a lot of its ideas through others. Libra is all about the lavishness, things being very lavish. So going out on a really very expensive date will be very attractive for them. You taking them somewhere and you spending a lot of money on them kind of makes them feel a sense of value. But you need to be very direct with these people because they speak in codes, and they are notorious for saying a little bit of something but not saying the conviction and what they want to really say, right? So they might hint something like, oh, you know, oh, my friend, she went out on a really lovely spa weekend with her partner and it was so nice. Like, wow, I'd love to go there too. And it's like, instead of that Venus and Libra directly saying, look, let's go to the spa date, right? That's kind of a way in which they're telling you, like, can you just propose that to me? And if you're going to be with a Venus and Libra, you need to just read between the lines. And you've got to be direct enough to say what it is that they want by listening to their little hints here and there. Now also, to date these people, they also want to be able to put on their best fit, you know, do their makeup and their hair, but they also want to see you have made an effort as well. Like, how far are you willing to kind of dress up to really make an effort for this Venus and Libra? So wherever you take them, very similar in a sense to like the Leo, you know, they want to go somewhere that is going to stimulate the beauty and everything. So we can see going to like the top of an expensive restaurant. That's amazing. But somewhere where they can also communicate and talk to you, and where they are also around other people. Again, a lot of it is about what they can kind of speak to and generate conversations with different people whilst also being with you too. Okay, so let's look into Venus in Scorpio. Venus in Scorpio is a very intense Venus. Scorpio are very possessive partners, and they tend to go for someone who's very open and honest with them. But let's just be clear, you haven't got to be too open and too vulgar with them. You need to have like an element of like mysteriousness about you. And the one thing that has always worked for me, I've dated a lot of Venus and Scorpios, is, oh, you know what, I always say, oh, this terrible thing happened to me, but I'll tell you when I trust you. They're like, oh, I've got to prove my trust to her. Yeah, I'm going to work on that, because it shows that there is something so severe and traumatic that you've experienced, and they're just keen to know more about that. So they're more willing to put a bit of work in, you know. So a Venus in Scorpio needs to be around you, and they are all about very personal, intimate moments. I'm thinking of the ideal date for a Venus in Scorpio, and what I quite like is nothing gets more intimate than two people sat in a car together. You're in your seat, I'm in my seat, but we're in this together. Now what if we mix this with like a roof, a drop top roof, or like an outdoor cinema, and it's just you and them together in the car watching a scary movie, watching a crime documentary, right? I know Venus and Scorpios love like very deep, intense things to watch, but Venus and Scorpio really values those intimate, personal moments between two people. And that's why I feel being in like, you know, the cinema or outdoor cinema in a car, and it's just you two, is very, very personal and private to that Scorpio. Oh my God. So Venus and Scorpio, they require the intimacy, right? And also it's a water sign, so you've got to just throw in some water in there, right? Now let's think about kayaking, or like being on a boat, and this is very romantic for them. And when you've got a Venus in Scorpio, you deal with a lot of like fears. Like Venus is also very uncomfortable being in Scorpio, because its fear is betrayal, its fear is, you know, someone knowing the true them. Like they just don't want to be around people so much, and it's like, if you're going to date them, you've got to make it worth their while, because they would rather be at home. Okay, so being on like a kayaking boat, being on like a boat or something, and they have lots of like kayaking boats that you can do, like in like, or even like just like a little Thames boat somewhere, like I'm saying this Thames, like you guys are from the UK, some of you guys are, but in London we've got like boats and stuff, or even like a canal boat. If you're going on a canal, the wind is going crazy, typical Scorpio energy is going crazy right now. But yeah, like this would be ideal for a Scorpio because it's very intense, very romantic, and it's just the two of you. You can't run anywhere. Okay, how about a jazz calf? Jazz calves are very romantic and they're very quite cozy, quite intimate, and you have music playing in the background as well. I know that Venus in Scorpio likes things to be very dark and very personal. It just looks a little bit like this is a lovely environment to kind of let this person see me. What they're gonna do, and what Venus and Scorpio are notorious for doing, is trying to deflect a lot from themselves. So they will ask you a lot of questions, they will make things a lot about you, but you need to be ahead of the game, okay? And you need to press them about a few questions. And you need to kind of use that time to also open up a lot about you, because once you start sharing, they're going to start sharing with you too. Now let's have a look at Venus in Sagittarius. This is a really fun one. Venus in Sag is really fun because Sag is a very outgoing Venus to have, and very fun, playful. Now this, let's just be real, yeah, like obviously Venus or Sagittarius represents travels and exploring, and when Venus sits in there, their pleasures are naturally going to be freedom, fun, exploring. So they need to kind of date someone or go on a date with someone where there are no limits. There are no limits to what to the time of coming back home, to where we need to go. It's just constant freedom and adventure. Going to Paris for the day, absolutely fun. Remember, I'm in the UK, so maybe you might be in like New York. You might go to Ellis Island for the day. You know, I did that when I was there. Just kind of looking into history, you know, learning, like that Sag energy needs to be stimulated, you know. So going out, learning about things, being very adventurous, traveling to a different, oh my god, like going to a cottage, like a really cute cottage somewhere in the countryside, you know, with a beautiful view on the hill, and just being around. I said this in like Venus in Pisces, I think, or was it Venus in Taurus? Very similar, but like being around a fire, you know, burning your marshmallow on the fire, you know, things like that. Doing things you would not normally do. Sleeping in the woods somewhere, excitement, different. It could be dancing. Oh my god, when you think about Venus in Sagittarius, it's all about fun, right? But it's also about culture. So like going salsa dancing, salsa lessons, going to listen to live music. And it hasn't got to be like your own, it can actually be your own culture, by the way. But we see like someone more open to exploring different cultures and trying different things. So you could be of a different culture, background, ethnicity, whatever, to your Venus in Sagittarius, and you might say, oh, come, you know, come to our club, you know, we're doing this on Fridays, and you might like it. But that would be really nice for a Venus in Sag to just try something that they haven't tried before, or even just be around someone whose culture is very similar to theirs. Oh my god, like something very physically active. We can also go with like rock climbing, going on, is it hiking? We don't really hike much here in London anyway, but you can do hiking. And just want to kind of sound off, right? This is someone who you've been speaking to for a while. Do not do these things with people that you don't know at all, okay? So yeah, so like hiking, going rock climbing, things that are very physically active, and also where there's a view. When you're dating a Venus in Sag person, all they need is just the adventure. So never have the same old boring routine sort of dates that isn't mentally or physically stimulating, because they just need that adventure and they need to be trying something new. Now let's have a look at Venus in Capricorn. Venus in Capricorn is a very interesting Venus to have. Capricorn energy is very nostalgic. It's very sophisticated. Capricorn rules Saturn, and Saturn is about rules, regulations, restrictions, responsibilities and limitations. And these people usually have a lot of confidence issues in the earlier part of life. But the thing is with these people, they don't sit here and dwell, right? Unless Neptune is involved, but they don't sit here and dwell on their appearance or the fact that they are afraid of rejection. They just kind of get on with it in life, you know. Now, dating these people, you need to be very thoughtful about your date with them. Remember, I said it's a very nostalgic position for a Venus in Capricorn. I quite like a museum, actually. I like a museum kind of date for a Venus in Capricorn and a Cancer. Cancer also rules history. Capricorn can rule nostalgia. So we can see someone who may have been born, let's say in the 70s or something, right? And the physical appearance in the 70s was very like big afros, forms. And in the UK, in London, we've got a museum called the Royal Albert Museum. And they do a lot of these exhibitions where they bring like these vintage clothes to life. Like they clothes up with like mannequins and stuff. And it just looks crazy real. But taking a Venus in Capricorn there is a very sophisticated date. And they also do prefer to date people that are older than them. There does tend to be quite an age gap as well in a lot of their relationships. So dating someone who's a bit older, who will take them somewhere on like a museum date, something very sophisticated. They may even like a coffee date, right? And coffee dates are quite basic, but a Venus in Capricorn doesn't mind that, as long as there's some grace and some sophistication and there's some great conversation. This is what they desire to have. To even come close to speaking to these people, you can't just bring your back or your conversation. You need to bring your aspirations, your ambitions and your achievements with you. So you let them know these things that you've achieved over the years, you know, what your goals are in the long term. You know, you want to buy several houses. Okay, but what are you doing to get there? They want to hear these things. So these things require, you know, conversation, going to a coffee shop and just having coffee. Going to see monuments, like playing Taurus is quite fun. This is more like a Venus and Sagittarius type of thing, to be fair, like playing Taurus. But monuments, going to see monuments and taking pictures and learning about how that monument became a whole monument. Again, this is diving into history. This is diving into the whole sophistication of things. You can't just go there and just take a picture and go home. No, you need to learn about your surroundings, because, you know, Capricorn is all about what I aspire to be. You know, what I want to achieve in my life. Going to places where they have lots of these expensive vintage cars, these exhibitions where they're selling a lot to like these rich people. Like, you know, me and my partner went to one before and they had these expensive Tesla cars there, Lamborghinis, like there was just everything nice was there. People who were selling pools like for your back garden. Like I can't afford that shit, but we were there just to see, and it really inspires you. So going places that inspires you to be successful, you know, going to view these stately homes. I know this is just a date, right? Going to have tea at the Ritz Hotel, going to have tea in these big, beautiful, stately homes. You know, a Capricorn wants to feel beautiful, you know, wants to feel valued. So going places where things are very old school, traditional buildings, like things that are just beautiful, that makes them feel sophisticated people. Okay, so let's finish up on Venus in Aquarius. So Venus in Aquarius is a very interesting Venus to have, because Aquarius is one of those signs that relates to being an individual, being very independent, right? So dating a Venus in Aquarius, things are never going to go the way that you may expect them to go, unless you have strong Uranian energy yourself or Aquarius energy yourself. It's never going to be as easy. And the reason why is because Aquarius is about being unpredictable. So especially when you're getting to know them, they are not always going to be so forthcoming with the conversation, with even dating, right? These people can be a challenge because it's like, well, why can't you just pick up the phone and call? They can never text back in time or at all, right? They're very aloof people, and a lot of people are very confused behind how to deal with them. It's like you've got to kind of play them at their own game for them to kind of give you that attention. So you might have to be on like social media, you might post like a savage selfie, okay? And suddenly, oh, hey, how are you? Stranger, like, but this is kind of how they play their game. But they like to check to see, they like to kind of maintain their sense of individualism. So don't ever force yourself for these people to like you. They will like you if you give them space and you just turn up randomly, okay? At random. Now, please, people, please do not call them and plan a date in 2 weeks' time, because they won't turn up. They will forget all about this date and they will do something else, or something else will turn up for them. You need to literally be like, oh, are you free in like 2 hours? Are you free now? Are you going to be free tomorrow? It needs to be spontaneous and unexpected, because that's what their desires are. They like the excitement, the unexpected behavior, and they hate planning things. Oh my God, oh my God. This date idea is fun for the Aquarius, right? Because it's not too romantic, it's not too much effort, it's just very fun. Now, you've got like those gaming, what are they called? Gaming stations, like you put on like the virtual gaming, you put the eye goggle things on and you get to shoot the people in the room, right? First of all, Aquarius are always thinking ahead unconsciously. They're very intellectual, intelligent. They're very much into their gadgets, right? Taking them somewhere that they can utilize these interests is going to be fun for them. Go somewhere that has like a quirky atmosphere. So you have particular like museums, right, that hold exhibitions where they have like very quirky materials, sculptures, things that are again very, very different. And the things with Aquarius, I kind of feel like they might be a little bit like bored in a museum, because it's just pictures and stuff. But something quirky, something futuristic, and something very different will be very beneficial for your date. I know Aquarius isn't the most romantic sign, right? But a helicopter date, oh my God, I think most of us would love a helicopter date, right? Right. But I give this to Aquarius because again, you can see all of the gadgets in front of you, like the pilot driving, that's very stimulating. You've got the views around you, and also a helicopter date is not something that everyone experiences. And as an Aquarius, you want to be an individual, so you want to do something that's very, very different. But a helicopter date is very, very like extra, but it's a good date for an Aquarius Venus. Okay, people, and that is my best dates for the Venus signs through all of the signs. I will see you guys another time. Bye.